Well, I figured out what I'm going to do with this camper eventually. It's pretty shitty, but dogs won't care. So, I mean, she let the dog and the cats live in here. The cats pretty much shit all over the place. So, I'm gonna turn it into a doghouse. Yeah. All I gotta do is clean it out, redo the floor. I'm gonna basically just put down treated lumber for the floor. Everything else seems structurally sound enough. uh, the ceiling's coming down. I might have to put more Gecko roof on the roof. And I need to Gecko roof this thing here because it's cracking. I can see a crack right there. So I'll just Gecko roof that. Put a dog door on it. Redo the floor. And this will be a dog house. I kind of want the dog to be at the center of the property anyway. This isn't exactly center. But if we get the 15 acres next door, it'll be more center. But center of the property is up here, just on the other side of the swimming pool, where I have a shade tree. That's approximately center. So the cats have a cat camper. I could turn this into a dog camper. And yeah, it'll be insulated, somewhat insulated, and somewhat structurally sound. Like I said, I just got to Gecko roof it again, redo the floor. I might even Gecko the outside. But no person would really want to live in there because it's pretty filthy. But dogs won't care. So, in fact, Coco lived in there for a long time. You know, she, like I said, she let the dog and the cats live in it, poop in it, do whatever they wanted in it. So, yeah, Coco loved it. So I'll just put a dog door on it after I'm done. Cleaning it up and fixing it up, and I'll turn it into a doghouse. Fluffy. Fluffy got a mouse. Good girl. You know, teach these youngins to hunt. So we had 22 cats. I think we're down to 16 now. We lost a couple kittens and one adult. So that'd be 4 kittens and 1 adult. So it's sad, but that's kind of what happens out here in the wild. But then again, Loverboy Jr. came back. Some cats come and go. The kittens probably didn't make it. You know, we had one black cat that probably didn't make it. We had pretty much all of her babies didn't make it. um, she had 4 babies. Lost one almost right away. And then Mimi was taking care of the other 3. Josh ran one over. And then the other 2 just kind of slowly perished. I'm not sure what happened to the one tiger cat. And then the black and white one, I saw it was weak, but Mimi was taking care of it, so I was hoping it would pull through, and I didn't have time to take it to the vet because I had to go back to work. But I didn't see it the next week. So out in the country, it's kind of like the survival of the fittest. You know, only the strong survive. I do try to take care of them as best I can, being as I'm only home on the weekends and the vets are closed on the weekends. Well, they're open on a Saturday, but only like a couple hours. So if I get home early enough on a Saturday, or I'm home late enough on a Monday, and there's a problem, I can take them to the vet. Which Callie had problems, and so did Loverboy Jr. So I took them to the vet, and they're doing a lot better. They're still got a little bit of an issue, but they're doing a lot better. Like I said, I thought he died. He disappeared for like a month or 2, but he came back. So all the rest of them seem pretty healthy. They do have ringworms. So I bought some supplement for that, but it hasn't got here yet. So we're just putting diatomaceous earth on them for now. And some of the ingredients in this herbal supplement that I'm going to put into their feed is already in the supplement that I put in their feed already. So they're getting some of it, so that might be helping keep the ringworms down, but they still got it. So this supplement will help knock it out. So right now I'm just working on cleaning up the property. My mom's not here yet. So I've just been cleaning up the kitchen area. There's a bunch of trash and junk that needed to be burned, so I burned it. And yeah, I'm about to head up front now. So I think I've done everything I need to do back here. Oh yeah, I cut up those trees over here. I cut down some trees, but I dropped them in my driveway or my road. So I had to cut them up and clear the road, which I just did this morning. So this is our scrap metal section. Basically anything that'll fit in 55-gallon barrels, I'm going to start putting, I've been just throwing stuff all over the place over here, but I'm going to start putting things that'll fit in these 55-gallon barrels in the 55-gallon barrels. Anything that won't fit, like this, of course we can bend it and make it fit, but anything that won't fit in those will go in here. Anything that won't fit in there goes on the ground. So I call this my mortgage insurance. So some of this crap came from the Kaplinger property. But if any time I'm struggling to pay my mortgage, I can always take this to the scrapyard and, you know, get some money to pay my mortgage. So that's what that's all about. My mom also recycle some of it periodically to give her gas money. So it's also kind of like helping my mom out too. So yeah, here's the trees I cut down. They're growing in these evergreens. I want the evergreens. They were more important to me than these trees. If those trees were more important to me, then I would have cut out the evergreens. This here's mulberry, so I didn't cut out stuff around it. This is a persimmon. It'll probably eventually go, but I'm gonna let it grow for now. I'm gonna cut this one out next. It's growing in the evergreen, and it's a crap tree. I don't really care for it. I just didn't cut it down. I'll probably do that today before I take off, and then I'll chop it up later. But yeah, let's see. This here is a pecan. So I'll end up taking out the evergreen. I'm going to keep the pecan. So there you go. So yeah, I'm just kind of cleaning up the place a little bit at a time. I lollipop this because it was growing into the road and I want to be able to drive through here. So that's why I lollipop that. I'll probably eventually lollipop most of the evergreens, all the trees for that matter, enough to where we could walk under them. But I haven't been doing that because it's goat food. But now I don't think I have any more goats. Paul hasn't been around for the last 2 mornings. I'll go check. Let's go check on him again real quick. While I wait for my mom to show up. So there's an oak. I got some little trees trying to grow up into the oak, so I'm going to take them out. Now that I got the road clear, I can roll this up front. But I'm not sure where I want it right now, so I'm just going to leave it here for now. Oh, there's Paul. All right, cool. Paul's still around. Hey, Paul, I was worried about you. I need to get him a friend. Now that he's still here, I might still try to get Trig back. I'm gonna go to the police department next weekend. I didn't go this weekend because they got the festival this weekend. Yeah, I'm sure they got their hands full, but I'm gonna go next weekend. I'm gonna make my police report. I've been working on it. Paul, come here, Paul. Got some grain, Paul. Paul, you doing okay, Paul? You don't trust me. I need to trim his hooves if I can catch him. Come here, Paul. Meow. Meow. He's the only goat here, so I don't lock him up. If I had more goats, I'd lock them up. But we also had a drought this summer, so we don't have a lot of water. And that's the other reason why I hadn't locked him up. And then he gets to go play with the cats and stuff too if he wants to. And his food has medicine in it too, so that helps keep him alive and healthy. He don't trust me. He keeps looking up. Candy. Yeah, I gotta get some stuff on her nose. Hey, 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 hey. He's trying to get her pregnant. I think that's your aunt. You're not supposed to get your aunt pregnant. That's the way to tell that they're okay and they're parasite free. If they're full of life and energy, then they're probably okay. um, if they're getting sick and lethargic, then they probably got worms. And that's a good indicator. It's right there, Paul. Of course, Lesbadeza is also a dewormer, so he's got plenty of that to eat. And in the black walnuts, um, they're a dewormer, so he's got plenty of those to eat. Now put all that stuff in the cat's food too, because they won't normally eat that. But they will if it's on their food. So then there's these persimmons. They're not that great, but if you get them at the right time, they're not too bad. If you just barely pull on them and they fall off, they're ready. Otherwise, not so much. And they are nasty if they're not ready. Oh, that one might be ready. Not too bad. Ooh, that one's ready. Normally I don't like persimmons, but again, well, one, it's an acquired taste, and maybe you have to actually acquire a taste for them. But, Paul! I spit the seeds out in there. Oh, so this is my food. See, I think I'm gonna go in the direction of Saanen goats. Um, David Ray, also known as Judas, was had Nigerians, you know, and he always claimed that he specially bred them for a certain kind of meat goat, I mean milk goat, blah blah blah, all this bullshit. Come to find out, it's all a lie. But anyway, um, he had Nigerians, and they weren't actually purebred Nigerians. They had some pygmy in them and some other stuff. Come here, Paul. I want it in there so that if it rains, it won't get rained on. Throw a persimmon in there too. Go get it before the cats do. Go get it. So he had Nigerians, and they were supposed to be milk goats, but he never milked them. People have been asking for years, why do you have milk goats if you're not going to milk them? I'm like, I don't know, that's not my thing. And he lost most of his goats, and he blamed it on inbreeding. He said, they're too inbred, blah, blah, blah. So I went out and bought more goats. And then he let a lot of them die. And then he tried to blame me for their death. He said I had too many goats. And we only had like 14, 17 goats. I can't remember. Not very many. We'll say 15. We have 15 acres. And he tried to say I had too many goats. It's my fault that they're dying. And I'm like, wait a minute. That doesn't make sense. We got 15 goats and 15 acres. Maybe 16, you know, whatever. Hey, that's candy. Be nice. Go get your goat food. So I started doing some research, and so I found out they needed to be tested for worms. So I started testing them for worms, and they were loaded with parasites. So I got this pharmaceutical called Cyductin. It's supposed to knock out the worms. So I gave it to David Ray, Judas, and it's like, hey, give this to the goats. And he's like, he refused. He goes, we can't call ourselves organic if we're giving him this purple stuff. And I was like, well, I don't want the goats to die. He's like, well, and he basically was accusing me of being a hypocrite or some crap because our name was, you know, we had organic in our name, but yeah, I wanted him to give the goats this pharmaceutical. I'm like, well, we don't have an alternative natural solution to keep the goats from dying. So either give them this pharmaceutical or they're going to die. And or give them or come up with a natural solution. He wouldn't do either one. So I ended up taking over the goats. All the males were dead. All we had was females, and I should have just left them at that and not bought any more males, but I bought more males. Like an idiot. And like I said, I took over. I did the routine testing. I did the routine rotating. Came up with a natural herbal supplement to keep the worms down. Whole 9 yards. And I hadn't lost a goat until this year. This year, I decided to go in a different direction. I got some Kikos. And what I was going to do was, well, a lot of people told me I needed to do meat goats instead of milk goats. So I was like, okay. So I started doing some research on what direction I was going to go as far as meat goats. And a lot of people swore by the Kikos and Spanish goats, even the veterinarian. You know, he loves Spanish goats. So I was like, okay. I decided I was going to go that direction. I ended up finding somebody through an associate that sold me some Kiko Spanish goats. 2 were Kiko, 2 were Kiko Spanish cross. And I was just going to do meat goats. Now they had 6 baby boys. And I was going to sell them, and I was going to sell the Nigerians. Well, the Nigerian females were easier to sell than the males. So then I came up with this idea. Well, how about I keep the Nigerian males, sell the Nigerian females, sell the Kiko Spanish buck babies, and of course there was boar mix in some of the babies. Because they say if you're going to take them to market, then you want to cross. What you want to do is you want to cross a Kiko with the Spanish goat. And then take those females and cross them with a boar, and then take those babies to market, if that makes sense. So that's a good meat goat, if you're wanting to go in a meat goat direction. Well, what I thought about doing was making my own meat milk goat. There's several different already meat milk goats, and I was thinking about making a new breed of meat milk goat called a Skygerian. So I was going to cross. Oh, there they are. Did you text me? Oh. Oh, 23 minutes ago? I was back with Paul. He was missing for 2 days, but he came back. Yeah. So anyways, I'll close this video out by saying, basically, I'm thinking about, I was doing some research lately on milk goats, because Sophie wants to do milk goats. And so I did some research on the best milk goats in the area, and I got a list. And then I did some research on the best meat goats in the area, and I got that list. And the 2 meat goats that were on the milk goat list were the Nubian and the Saanen. Well, those two were bred into the feral Kiko to make the current Kiko plus one other. What I was going to do was I was going to take the Kiko, breed it with the Spanish buck, take their offspring, and breed them with a Nigerian buck. And that would give it more parasite resistance, hardiness, and then it would give them back that milk quality that they're lacking, and hopefully maybe make a good meat milk goat. Well, between the Nubian and the Saanen, the Nubian you can only milk for about 6 months. The Saanen you can milk year round, like a Nigerian. So I might just go in that direction and just do Saanens, at least for starting out, and then later I can do my experiment. Since the Saanen's already in the Kiko breed, you know, probably wouldn't hurt to have some Saanens around. So they got bigger bags, they produce more milk, and they are a little bit bigger than Nigerians, so they produce more meat. So it'll be an all-around good meat milk goat. And so that's the direction I'm thinking about going. If I go. So, all right, bye.